everybody, it's Ani with Chica's Kitchen. Back today to show you how I make my white rice. Okay, this is what you're gonna need. You're gonna need a rice pot and lid, a cooking spoon, some vegetable oil or whatever kind of oil you like to use. You're gonna need the rice and a measuring cup. We're going to do 3 cups of rice today. And salt. That's it. That's all you'll need. You need these 3 ingredients. Your pot, your stirring cooking spoon, and your measuring cup. Okay, after a while, you'll get to do it by eye. You won't need the measuring cup. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. First things first, I'm going to show you how to wash the rice. So I'll be right back. I'm going to set you guys up so you can get a great view, and I'll be back. Okay, here we go. First we're going to measure out. I've got my rice pot in the sink because we're getting ready to wash this rice. The measuring cup, this is a 1 cup. Measuring cup. We're going to measure out 3 cups of rice. One, two, and 3. Okay, 3 cups of rice. And I always suggest you do at least 3 cups. It doesn't matter if it's just 1 person or 2 people, because rice refrigerates well after it's cooked. It refrigerates well, so it even freezes well, so you wouldn't be wasting it. Unless you don't eat rice that often. Then I would suggest you just make 1 cup. Either way, if it's 1 cup or 10 cups, you know, the trick here is the measurement of the water. But as long as you always have the water about 1/2 an inch above the rice, maybe 3/4 of an inch or an inch, depending on how many cups. But my rule of thumb is about 1/2 an inch to 3/4 of an inch above the rice once it's, you know, soaked in there. Rule of thumb is 2 cups of water per 1 cup of rice. But you can't always go by that because there's different grains of rice. There's small, medium, and large. I think there's even extra large, the type of rice it is. So you really have to just do it by the eye, and that is cover the rice, at least have at a minimum 1/2 an inch of water above the level of the rice once it's in the pot. Okay, and then I'm going to show you the spoon method. That's another trick that we use, but it only works if you have your correct ratio of water in it. I mean, you have to add the water first, and then you test to see if you have sufficient water by using a spoon. And if the spoon stays standing, you insert it in the center once the water's been added, of course. And if the spoon stands straight up, you have the correct ratio. Okay, now mind you, you have to have the water in there according to the rule of thumb, which is 2 cups of water to 1 cup of rice before you do this. Once you do that, okay, then you insert the spoon in the middle. And if it's standing straight up, if it doesn't fall, you have the correct ratio of water. If it falls, then you have too much water in your for the amount of rice in your pot. That's the rule of thumb. It won't tell you if you have too little, but it will tell you if you have too much. So, we're going to go ahead and use cool water to rinse our rice. And once you get some more in there, of course, you have to always make sure you wash your hands very well before you start cooking. And then you just want to go ahead and stick your hand in there and just stir it around. Now look at that water. You see how starchy it is? It's almost like, looks almost like skim milk, don't it? That's what you're trying to get rid of. You don't want all that stuff. It's not good for you. Okay. And you gotta remember this rice, you know, it goes through a process, and it's threshing machines and stuff like that, so there might be little pebbles in there, little bits of dirt. You never know. I mean, they do a really good job of cleaning and bagging rice these days. Back in my mom's day, I should say, when I was growing up, we used to sit and get all the pebbles out of the rice before we even did this process. You know, get a brown paper bag and put the cups of rice on it, sit at the table and just rummage through and get the little pebbles out. Yeah, that was back in the day when rice used to come in a burlap sack. Now everything's a little bit more cleaner and better processed, I would say, as far as packaging goes with the rice. So the water's getting a little bit clearer. I usually do this 5 times, so this is number 2. 5 times until the water runs clear, because I don't know what kind of rice you get, but I know what the kind of rice I get, which is great value long grain is what I use. I use small grain when I'm going to make like rice puddings and stuff like that, when I'm going to do some baking with it and desserts. I use small grain because it cooks faster, blooms faster. This is 3. Again, cool water. See, it's running clearer now. And that's what you want to see. You want to see all that water run clear before you start to cook the rice. Alright. Now once you wash it clean, you do have to go through it. Make sure there aren't any pebbles or shaft, even though this process does eliminate a lot of the shaft that might still be on the grain of rice. Okay, there we go. That's 4. The water is running a lot clearer now. Okay. What you want to do is you want to cup your hands just like so you can catch any kernels that might try to escape the pot as you. Okay, now use a let me see, like a sifter, so you can catch it. Kernels, you can use one of these. I'm old school. I use my hands. All right, last round. This is 5. Alright, it looks like the water is clear, and that's what you want to see. Go ahead and rub the grains of rice together. Any last minute starches. All right. And now we're just going to swirl. Okay. And we're going to fill the pot to about half an inch of water above the rice. Now we're going to take you over to the stove. Okay, I did want to show you some. I took my chicken out of the buttermilk and it's in its own bowl. I'm going to prepare to season it. The reason why I did this is so that it could warm up for the frying process. Chicken straight out of the fridge when it's cold takes a longer time to cook well, to fry well inside. So always warm up your chicken. Take your chicken out about an hour before you intend to cook it, so it can warm up and it'll cook faster. Buttermilk, what this milk does to the chicken, the acids in the buttermilk tenderizes the chicken. Then I got the flour up here that I'm going to batter this with. I've got some sofrito because I still have to season the chicken. It's been soaking in this buttermilk this is the third day. Alright? And then I've got some Italian style breadcrumbs that I will add to the flour. I'll show you, but right now let's go ahead and get on with the rice. Okay, so we've got our rice here. We're going to go ahead and put this to a number 6, a little bit more towards medium high. And we're going to add our salt. Now this is salt to taste. So for 3 cups of rice, I usually put a half a tablespoon of salt. Okay. Now, mind you, I really don't like to use a lot of salt. I am making, remember the pinto beans? This is, I froze them in little containers. We're going to have some rice and beans. This is one of them. And that's got plenty of salt for the rice. And just a little bit just to help cook it and give it a little flavor. But that's about it. Now, next thing we're going to do is add the oil. If you're only making 1 cup of rice, I would suggest a half a cooking spoon of oil. So you can take your big old cooking spoon, and for 3 cups, I'm going to put in 2 cooking spoons of oil. 1 and 2. And that's enough oil. Let me show you what it looks like. See that? There's the oil. There's the other one. You know, water and oil don't mix. But it'll cook. Alright. Then we're going to stir. Very important thing about stirring. This is the pre-cooking stir, because you need to blend in all your ingredients, right? I think that's a little shaft, piece of shaft. Where is it? Oh, I saw it. There it is. Can't grab it. Got it. Oh, it's a little burnt rice. little burnt rice. Can you all see that? Ooh. Let's see if you can see it. See that? That's a rice kernel with a little damage on the end of it. I don't like that. Okay. So this is the pre-cooking stir. You want to blend in all your ingredients, as I said. But once you do this, that's it. You don't stir it again. A lot of people's problems is that they stir their rice too much and then it comes out all mushy. You don't stir this again until you see the water has evaporated. Okay, and you'll see it, just enough water around the edges bubbling. Then you come back and you lower your heat, you stir it, you make a nice mound in the middle, and you cover it and you cook it again. And once it's cooked, you go in there from the bottom up and you toss the rice, put a little bit of olive oil over on top, cover it, and that's it. Set it aside, turn off your heat, and let it cook in the heat that's remaining in the pot. That's it, just twice. It's the only time that this spoon touches that rice in the cooking process, is twice. Alright? Now the pre-cooking process to blend the ingredients, of course, you have to stir it together. Duh, that's a given. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and let this come to a boil, and I'll bring you back and I'll show you, once it's evaporated, I'll show you what to look for. Hey, I'm back. I forgot to show you. See, my spoon is standing straight up with 1/2 inch of water above the rice. So that means I've got a good ratio going. I just wanted to show you that. I forgot that step. I'll be back. Okay, now that I see my rice is starting to come to a boil, I'm going to leave it alone. But what I am going to do is lower this to a 4. Okay? The reason why we had it at a 6 was to help the water start to boil. But now that it has come to a boil, we're going to put it to a number 4, which is right below medium. Alright, and we're going to wait till that water evaporates. We're not going to stir the rice. We're going to leave it be. If you lower it to a 4, your rice will not burn on the bottom, promise. Alright, I'll be back. Okay. See how the water's evaporated and you only see a little bit? That's when it's time to lower the heat. Do it to number 2. And stir your rice. Toss your rice, rather. You toss it. You go in from the bottom and over. And over. And over. See that? Just like that. What you're doing is you're bringing the grains in from the bottom up to the top so it doesn't burn. Kind of switching places. Putting the top rice at the bottom and the bottom at the top. That way it cooks evenly and nothing gets burned. Okay? See? Once you do that, you start making a mound in the middle, bringing the rice away from the wall. And with the water kind of evaporated, most of it anyway, it should be easy to do. If you got too much water in it, you won't be able to do this. That's how you'll know you need to let it evaporate a little bit more. And you make yourself a little mound. doesn't like to make ours real pretty. It's silly, I know, the things we think about when we're cooking. The games people play. Alright, and there's your little mound. That's how you know you're in a Puerto Rican house. You hear this. And that's what's happening when you hear that. It's rice cooking, 9 times out of 10. Get every last grain. We do. Okay. So once that's done, you've lowered your heat. You cover it and you put your timer on for 20 minutes. Boop. And we're counting down. I shall bring you guys back. Alright, timer's going off. It's been 20 minutes. Let's take a look at this rice. To get a bird's eye view there, buddies. Woohoo! Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, always hold the lid like this and let whatever water has evaporated to the lid, to the top, drip down. You don't want to burn yourself flinging the lid around. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to put this on low. And we want to toss this rice from the bottom and over. From the bottom and over. Pegadito. I mean, I love pegado. Okay, bottom and over. Bottom and over. Now, this rice is done. All you gotta do now is put some oil over top of it. Turn off your heat. Cover. And that's it. That's all that's to it. Now I'm going to taste a little bit of the rice. See that? Mmm. It's going to be hot. Wow. Oh my God. That is delicious. Perfectly seasoned and cooked. Okay. And there you have it, folks. That's the way I make my rice in Chica's kitchen. Until the next video, which will be the buttermilk fried chicken. God bless you all. Take care.